become a common trend to see people taking to the gym while others go to the streets for road running. Others play soccer and many other physical activities. But the question is, do these people understand the importance of physical activities? On this week's edition of News In Depth, we'll be discussing the importance of physical activities. I am your host, Macpherson Kuka. Stay tuned. Lifestyle diseases know no boundaries. They affect the young and the old, the low and the middle income countries. Zambia, like other countries, is also struggling to deal with lifestyle diseases, which are commonly referred to as non-communicable diseases, NCDs. In recent years, the country has recorded an increase in the number of people suffering from non-communicable diseases. The reason is simple. With a lot of cars around, many are less active and they tend to turn to fast foods. Official statistics from the Ministry of Health indicate that 23% of people die from complications of NCDs annually.
In Zambia, 23% of the deaths in our people, minimum 23%, is attributed to this group of diseases we call non-communicable diseases. Cancer, chronic lung diseases, diabetes or sugar diseases, and the cardiovascular system diseases, which includes the strokes, the heart attacks, heart failure, among others. So it's important. And what is so common with these diseases I've mentioned, the non-communicable diseases, is that they have common risk factors. And these risk factors are basically four, which are common. And if a person has one of these risk factors, the chances of developing one of these non-communicable diseases increases. If you have two risk factors, 3 or 4, the chances of you getting one of these diseases, or indeed more, increases. So the question is, what are these risk factors? Number one is a lack of activity, physical activity. Lack of or inadequate physical activity.
According to the World Health Organization, NCDs are responsible for the death of about 40 million people each year, equivalent to 70% of all deaths globally. Physical inactivity has the potential to drain a person's energy. And Faith Banda, a physiotherapist, says this is so because the muscles in the body tend to be weak and can cause unpleasant pain.
But being inactive, you eventually feel, even just on a day when you stay just home and seated doing nothing, you feel like there's something wrong with your body because your body is used to be active and everything. The fact that you're active, it secretes certain substances in your body that help you feel happy, and it reduces your anxiety, it reduces stress, it gives you peace of mind. At the same time, it gives you that feeling of wellness. So that just shows that inactivity affects a lot of things. The muscles wear out, they don't have strength. Even the fact that you're upright, your posture helps maintain stability in your body. So the fact that they are coming to stand up and you need muscular balance and everything to be in order, that sort of affects the actual outcome.
So many challenges have also been linked to this problem in Zambia. University of Zambia lecturer and sports psychologist Hikawa Chipande says historically, Zambia has not performed well in embracing physical activities.
We have not fared very well as a country. Firstly, because with the emergence of urbanization and white collar jobs, we have kind of drifted away from the massive physical activities that we were performing in pre-industrial era, where we hunted, we walked long distances, we did a lot of physical work.
Dr. Chipande further says lack of physical literacy at grassroots level is also a source of concern. He says the reduction in teaching physical education in schools has a negative impact on the physical well-being of the younger generation.
The main problem is physical literacy. If you are not physically literate, it becomes very challenging or very difficult for you to actually learn to perform physical activities consistently, simply because you've seen that now probably you are gaining a lot of weight. So we need, as an educator, from my point of view, it is very important that we seriously invest in the teaching of physical education starting from primary schools going through to secondary schools, because that is where kind of we can get our population get oriented physically. Once we are oriented physically, then it means that even mentally we have a positive attitude towards physical activities. And when we grow up, we will not need to be reminded that, we need to exercise or we are gaining weight, etc., because we will have, been oriented, we will have, we'll be literate physically. It means that we will know we already identify ourselves with particular types of physical activities that we enjoy, and we'll have a positive attitude towards them, because it's a lot mental.
Meanwhile, Chipo Mwete, a gym instructor, feels most people are not exercising because they do not know the importance of gyms. Chipo has been a gym trainer for 10 years.
Of course, people, when you talk about gym, they will always think about muscles, being bulky, competitions and that, but gym is way wide. You find massage in the gym, you find aerobics in the gym, you find indoor cycling in the gym, which is spinning in inverted commas. You also find things like saunas, treadmills, weight loss, and so on, to mention a few.
However, another gym instructor, Bin Gawaza, a specialist in floor aerobics, says lack of training schools to train gym instructors has hindered many Zambians from accessing physical activities.
We don't have a school where you can learn aerobics, so most we learn it through the net. So if the government can open up a school where they can be teaching aerobics, they can teach us the moves, because aerobics also goes with the music. You are supposed to understand the way the music goes. So I think the only problem is we don't have a school, but we are a few of us who know how to teach this. So if let's say you attend my class for 2 or 3 weeks, I think you are better if you can also teach.
NCDs disproportionately affect people in low and middle income countries, where more than 3/4 of global NCD deaths, 31 million, occur. However, it is worth noting that people of all age groups, regions and countries are at risk of being affected by NCDs.
A person who doesn't exercise or who doesn't involve themselves in any physical activity, they take a lot of alcohol, they smoke, and they consume or eat food indiscriminately, the chances of getting the non-communicable diseases are very high, more than 50% thereabout.
People in the urban setting, they are the ones that are really struggling, especially with this emerging lower middle class. If there is anything that we can call a lower middle class, then those who drive a few of these second-hand cars from Japan, then they make very little physical activities, and that's where we are really struggling as a country.
There are organizations and individuals that take fitness seriously. The Zambia Amateur Athletic Association is one of them. The association has been promoting wellness through running and walking for 19 years. Elias Mpondela has been at the helm of the intercompany relay since its inception and is happy with the contribution the program is making to the citizenry.
For me, it gives me great joy, first of all, to see emergence of a number of running clubs in Lusaka and throughout the country, and also to see people taking running and walking as a lifestyle. But like anything that starts, we would like to thank ZMBC. You have been on the spotlight trying to promote this effort. I think I can claim that we have significantly done well, because even when you go in hotels and in many places now you find gyms, and we may not necessarily be solely the one that influenced, but we are a contributor to the wellness lifestyle in the country.
However, Being physically active is a personal choice. This is why some individuals have taken it upon themselves to keep their bodies fit and healthy by involving themselves in physical activities. Khadija Piri believes she can keep away NCDs by being physically active.
I've gained muscle and I feel strong. I was really weak and I couldn't even do most of the things, but now I'm able to do most of the things. And I have seen that even my metabolism, it's not slow, it's quick. The food is easily digestible. Like before, seriously, I would eat food and I would only use the loo once, and which is not even right. Each and every person that puts food in the mouth, you make sure that you use the loo even 3 times. That's the normal way of each and every person. But with exercise, I've realized that because of exercising and the blood flow is quick, I'm able to do most of the things. Even I rarely have gases like the way I used to. And I think it has benefited me a lot. I've got 2 kids, but I look like I don't even have any. Yeah, so it's really important to really take these physical activities.
For Sheba Ngwane, taking part in physical activities is now a lifestyle. She says she has been going to the gym since 1987.
I've taken up training, health and fitness. For fitness, 1, and then 2, for health, to eliminate non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, blood pressure, and some with arthritis.
With the rising expenditure on treating complications that arise from NCDs, the government is promoting wellness through physical exercises. Recently, Zambia held a National Health Week, which saw the head of state taking part in various physical activities ranging from aerobics to athletics.
We want to encourage appropriate exercise by our population, our populace. We also want to foster breaking of the smoking habit, including we might talk about marijuana. I've challenged the Minister of Health to say, yes, marijuana has got benefits, but we don't know how much of these benefits we should introduce or how much harm it can cause. So, smoking generally is actually a habit which we want to discourage or stop if we can. We want to control the abuse of alcohol and drugs, including medical drugs. Globally, alcohol has been a challenge. Alcohol has invaded sport, the welfare advancements, and we just have to fight to free ourselves from the abuse of alcohol.
Exercise is something that is not considered a priority in many African settings. Chipo and Hikabwa know the reasons.
I think it was the lack of having gyms around corners. I mean, this time a lot of gyms have mushroomed, mostly in Lusaka. On each and every corner that you go to, you can find a gym.
Probably in terms of infrastructure, that is where we can improve, because once there are clean, decent recreation facilities, parks, then that actually will motivate people to participate in physical activities.
Meanwhile, Dr. Malama feels the delay in embracing physical activities has been caused by changes in lifestyle, especially by the middle-income earners.
Owning a car in Zambia among the middle class is seen as a sign of prosperity, class that have joined now. It's a good thing to have a car, but people need to ensure that you remember a car can actually facilitate your development of the non-communicable diseases. So it's a mentality issue. And I think Zambia is at a stage where time is ripe to have this shift. And the fact that we are seeing even the middle class now realizing, we had a friend, he was okay, we were together last night, from nowhere he just fell off and died, or he died in his sleep. What could have killed him? Most likely he had a stroke, or he had a heart attack. In other words, he bled maybe in the heart or in the brain, and that led to his death. Why? It's a non-communicable disease, most likely lack of physical activity or inadequate physical activity, in addition to other risk factors.
Doing physical activities means being watchful of one's diet and, most of all, being disciplined and following the guidelines. Belinda Tembo, a nutritionist at the Zambia Food and Nutrition Commission, says being conscious of one's diet whilst exercising bears the needed results.
Nutrition and physical activity actually go hand in hand. You cannot talk about nutrition without physical activity or physical activity without nutrition. But the role of nutrition in physical activity really is to keep you going, to ensure that even when you are doing your physical activity, you have the energy to do that. And for those who want to either lose weight or maintain weight, it also plays a big role. It's important to also watch what you eat. You know, most people, because they are physically active, they might think it's okay to eat anything anyhow. Yeah, lifestyle change is important. As a commission, we wouldn't advise for people to go on these speed diets or is it crash diets. What we want is a change in lifestyle, behavior changes. For example, consuming a lot of vegetables and fruits, and also our local vegetables and fruits.
Going to the gym or running club does not automatically mean one has to start exercising there and then. This is because certain measures have to be taken to ensure the person gets the right set of physical activities.
We take it easy when you come here. We'll start with maybe 30 minutes. We put you on a diet, first of all. Second, we teach you the stance. Third, and the positioning. So you can do it 3 times in a week, which is 6 times in 2 weeks. Then it comes to 12 times in the whole month. Then you are well and good.
Ordinarily, the gym is considered a place for people who want to train in boxing or have a trade in sporting activities. However, the realization of its importance in combating some lifestyle-related ailments has also introduced new features such as floor aerobics. The benefits of exercises and other physical activities are many.
The oxygen intake is increased and the body tissues receive more nutrients faster. The removal of carbon dioxide is faster and more efficient. It helps your digestive system to digest faster, and products of metabolism are removed faster from the systems. Your muscular structure as well is strengthened.
You can lose weight through aerobics. For those who want to lose, because most women, they don't want to start lifting weights, they're afraid they might get pumped, so they should engage themselves into aerobics. Secondly, it's a stress-free zone. For those who've got stress, too much work, you don't have time to exercise, you just come and do aerobics just for 1 hour, then you are done.
Doing physical activities is one thing, and having the strength to do so is another. Therefore, how far one can go in a given space of time or how hard one pushes depends on age.
There's low intensity exercises, there's medium or moderate, then there's high intensity exercises. So low intensity would give it into consideration when someone has like a heart condition of some sort. So the exercises are not as bulky as the others, like the frequency and the intensity of the exercise and the time that you give that exercise. Then the moderate intensity is for those who, they might be elderly, but they are also able to handle certain pressure of exercises. And then the high intensity are for the young at heart, those who have been doing exercises for many years, like it's just a walk in the park for them. And then most of the time, high intensity also applies to bodybuilders and that sort of thing.
In trying to do more of physical activities, some people have resorted to taking energy boosters, but nutritionists warn that such actions could cause serious health complications.
Carbohydrates, including sugar, are high in energy. And so you might consume something, not feel full at all, but you realize that you've consumed quite a lot of energy. So So it's important that you read the food label or the drink label. Of course, energy drinks have its place. There are people, for example, athletes who need a lot more energy than the average person. And so they are the people, of course, with medical advice or nutritional advice who may take energy drinks. But for the average person, we really discourage consumption or excessive consumption of such beverages because of the high energy or sugar content in these drinks.
Regular physical exercise is important for younger generations too, especially with the rise of obesity. Khadija Piri and Sheba Ngwane have similar thoughts on the importance of engaging in regular physical activities.
Physical activities is not only for certain people who are sick, it's not for certain people who are big, it's actually for each and everyone, even the kids. Because if you make the kids do certain things that we do in most gyms, or even just make them run.
At first I used to have hypertension, and now because I raise my heart rate like up to a certain level every day. I train Monday to Friday, then Saturday and Sunday I do other things. So I've actually benefited because I've maintained my weight and I've maintained a lifestyle in terms of eating.
Unlike running, going to the gym attracts some charges in form of membership fee, an issue some people see as an expense. But gym instructor Chipo Mwete says there are flexible payment methods that can be affordable for any person.
We have different kinds of gyms. There are some gyms that you can find more equipment and they have their own prices. We have gyms that you can find limited equipment and they have a certain amount of money that you can pay. Like I said, your health is your wealth. So you just have to invest in your health.
Meanwhile, aerobics trainer Vin Gawaza has appealed to government to consider waiving off duty on imported gym equipment. He says if that is done, gym owners will also be prompted to reduce on charges.
Now the only problem I think the people out there are facing is that the membership fee. I think it's too expensive, for a person who stays in Garden, for a person who stays in Chawama to go to the gym. It's 500 kwacha, some other gyms are 400 kwacha. So what the government can do is, I think they should make gym equipment duty-free, so that even those who are ordering machines, they bring them here in Zambia, they are going to charge people less because they didn't pay duty. Now if they pay a lot of duty, then they bring machines here, they start charging 500 kwacha and above. I think very few people are managing to pay for the gym.
However, Dr. Malama says exercising should not be an expensive venture.
If there's no gym in your facility or your vicinity, you can actually exercise at home. You can engage yourself in taking walks in the morning. You can take walks wherever you stay, in the township or in the compound. Instead of getting on a minibus, instead of looking for any other vehicle to take you, take a walk. And each step you take in a day is contributing to your wellness. The more steps you take, the better. And now what we are promoting, working with our colleagues who are experts in this area of physical activity, we've actually come to realize that you don't need to run to be healthy. You can actually do these physical movements in the space of your bedroom without any machine, and you are going to stay healthy. You can be in your house and do squats. You do some push-ups, flex your muscles on a daily basis. You start getting well. And when you do that, you start even feeling a sense of wellness. Things like flus, headaches, fun sense of feeling of unwellness in the body start disappearing.
But sports psychologist Hikawa Chipande says the need to have qualified instructors cannot be ignored. Dr. Chipande also says government needs to construct more facilities if more people are to be exercising.
What we need actually is knowledge. What we need is knowledge that is qualified people who can actually, one, motivate in terms of, the psychology part of it, motivate people to make sure that they start enjoying physical activities. And then secondly, qualified people, physical activities and health trainers that actually will make sure that they introduce our interested population to the right types of activities. So basically, because physical activities will involve, you can perform physical activities almost anywhere, walking. We've got a lot of space. But of course, in addition to that, there are other issues, probably, for example, myself, when you talk about infrastructure, probably the limiting issues in terms of infrastructure, probably I can give an example of, I'm interested, for instance, to cycle from home and not to drive. But you find that our roads are not accommodative of, cycling. There are no cycling paths. There are no, footpaths where one can walk from point A to point B, because that is what in developed societies, that is what they encourage, right?
And the government is aware of this.
The PF government is determined to continue investing in infrastructure to support various sporting activities and health living for our people. We will continue to walk the talk. It is in this spirit of recognizing what we are doing right and what we should be doing better that as government we would like to provide a guide that will ensure that everyone is brought on board.
Meanwhile, ZA President Elias Mpondela says Zambia's success in combating NCDs is dependent on how government will integrate its wellness policy with existing programs.
We hope that that commitment that was given by the president should be the commitment that must be given to what is already existing. The intercompany really has been seeking to be truly national, and probably to achieve a day when we all gravitate under the leadership of our leaders to do sport, mount sport. And we believe that when the government plugs on, when the Awareness Week that was launched becomes part of what we are doing, or we become integrated, we are subjugated to government. We are under the Ministry of Youth and Sport, under the National Sports Council, and therefore we are part of the government system. Then we will begin to see a greater change even to what was launched recently by the president, that we all become one. We create a bastion of energy in the country. We believe in one concept: is by acting together we can win.
The problems resulting from physical inactivity are many, but can be controlled through taking the necessary steps, such as being physically active. This is because physical activity or exercise can improve your health and reduce the risk of developing several diseases like type 2 diabetes, cancer, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease, among others. Experts have also advised on the need to be conscious about what you eat if intended results are to be achieved. But most significantly, consistency can improve your quality of life.
This is where we come to the end of this week's edition of News In Depth. We have been discussing the importance of physical activities. I have been your host, Macpherson Mkuka. Be sure to join us next week for yet another exciting News In Depth program. For now, it's goodbye and God bless you.